Today I'm making Captain Phasma's helmet. For this build you'll need Plastidip, thin EVA foam, thin craft foam, foam core, green putty, a heat gun, silver rub and buff, 2-liter soda bottles, sandpaper, white glue, hot glue, paint, nightshade spray paint, a sharpening stone, a respirator mask, goggles, sponge brushes, a rotary tool, scissors, razor pens, or a box cutter. This is like super easy if you've been watching my videos for a while because Captain Phasma's helmet is like 85% of a normal stormtrooper's helmet. Basically, you just build a stormtrooper helmet, and then before you get to the really difficult part, you stop. So all the Imperial helmets in Star Wars have the same base. Check out the Kylo Ren tutorial if you want a history lesson on that. Here's a link, it'll show up again at the end of the video. But you can also just go to my Facebook fan page to get the templates for the dome. It's in the album marked helmet templates. I've filmed this like 3 times already, so I'm just gonna start here. I made internal supports out of foam core poster board. If you don't do this, then the helmet will bow out and look silly. I ran into that issue with an earlier build. Trace these templates onto foam and cut them out. Again, you can find those on the fan page. Attach them with hot glue. Phasma has this band running down the center of the helmet, so make that out of craft foam. That will effectively hide the central seam, which will save you some time later. There are also 6 lines on top of the helmet. The seam lines make 2 of those, so you only have to carve out 4. I use my rotary tool with the narrow bit for this. If you're not proficient with the rotary tool, then practice on some scrap foam before you cut into the helmet. If you mess up, then you'll have to use putty to fill in the mistakes and you'll lose an entire day of work to dry time. Cut the end of each brim like this. For the sides of the lower jaw? Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. I cut 2 pieces, 4 inches by 1.5 inches. I also attached more foam bracing. I cut the chin totally and glued it on. Then I attached this thin piece of foam all around the outer rim. Also this thin black strip of foam for the monobrow. Maybe I shouldn't be using human terminology for this. I used my heat gun to heat form the new foam pieces. Careful while you do this because the heat gun is powerful enough to melt the hot glue, so yeah, stay away from the edges. See how the jaw is a curve now? It's great. I used thin craft foam as a base for the faceplate. If you use the thicker stuff, it'll want to expand out and it'll deform the rest of the helmet. I attached hex mesh for the filter. Hex mesh is what backpack side pockets are made from. Then I trace carved and refined the mustache using my rotary tool. I heat formed it with my heat gun and again, using my thin rotary tool bit, made a groove around the edge. I attached it to the helmet. Then I made these side greeblies, sealing them and painting them. It helps later if they're already finished. Coat it all in a mixture of 50% white glue and 50% water. Do that 5 times. Allow for it to dry in between coats. You can accelerate the drying process either with a fan or a hairdryer or both. Don't use the heat gun, you'll destroy your projects. Now fill all the unwanted seams with modeling putty. Green or red, it doesn't matter. Sand the putty. Recoat it if need be, because you know when you're sanding, occasionally you might sand all the way through all 5 layers of glue and then you'll need to apply more. Now you can coat it in Plastidip, which will make it waterproof, but I didn't. When that's dry, coat it in chrome paint. Automotive paint works the best, but this is like the most toxic paint ever. So use a respirator, paint outdoors, wear a hazmat suit, the works. When it dries, remove the painter's tape and attach those side greeblies. Now touch up the areas that are supposed to be black. For the visor, I created a template, attached it to the top of the soda bottle, and cut it out. I painted the interior black and attached it inside the helmet. Not gonna lie, this is the most obnoxious part of the build, so be patient. And there you go, one Captain Phasma helmet. Now go look really badass and then not accomplish anything. Seriously, why did that character have a name? I don't know, maybe she's gonna be more important in the next movie. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked that tutorial, then you might want to check out these other Star Wars builds I've done. You can also subscribe if you want to see future builds. I don't just do Star Wars stuff, I also do props from other movies and video games. And if you want to support the channel, then you can check out my Patreon page, because that's seriously the only thing that's gonna save this channel at this point. Alright, that's it. Jake out. I just hit myself in the eye. I am so glad the interior of this thing is foam.